Rise and shine, it's a brand new day. Ken and Ken take the stage, ready to play. Weekdays at 10, the cars on the scene. Coffee in hand, they're living the dream. Aggression in the voice, got the whole town awake. Bringing fire to the mic, make no mistake. Shows in the corner, spitting out facts. Dropping truth bombs, ain't holding back. Ken and Ken in the morning, feel the heat. From 10 a.m. CST, can take a seat. We live and loud, that break in the mind. Ken and the bold. Light up your speakers, crank up the sound. They're talking about life upside down. Opinions exploding like a sonic blast. In the studio, they're built to last. With passion and grit, they engage and ignite. Every single week, they're all force can fight. From sports to politics,
This is a Huddle Sports Network broadcast. You can find us on Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, Facebook, and of course YouTube. Get all your NFL news here first.
Morning. Welcome to the Monday morning edition of Ken and Ken in the morning. How you doing this morning, Joe?
What's going on?
Not much. Just waiting to see where Ken is.
I was probably going to ask, does he have physical therapy?
Yeah, I know he's got it this week, but I'm not sure. I do know that Illinois state legislative branch is, back in session. So maybe the Bears get a stadium deal this week.
I wouldn't count on it.
I know.
Not that you are. I'm just saying, like, Illinois doesn't get anything done fast.
I mean,
unless it's bad.
2 weeks ago, Indiana passed and signed. Oh, wait. Did I miss something? Bustin' Justin's the chief now?
I told you, Jets. Oh man, that's big news.
Is he really a Jet?
No, a chief. That's actually the best place for him, dude. Let him go get coached up by Andy Reid for a year. He might turn him into a starter, dude.
Oh, here it is. Yep, just broke 2 minutes ago. Justin Fields is being traded. This is from Shefty. No, nothing on compensation. But you know what though, dude, that makes so much sense. Oh, by the way, I gotta give Yinzer his props. Hold on. There we go. Come on, pop up on the screen. There we go. This guy's a jagoff. Yeah, jackwagon.
As much as I hate the Chiefs, this is like the best thing that could happen for Justin Fields' career, dude. Go get coached up by Andy Reid for a year or two and rebuild your stock. And who knows, dude? Like,
well,
it might give him a second chance.
Not. I'll have to get that to you somehow. We'll get that to you, Yinzer, somehow. Not just that, but you figure he might start the first couple games of the year.
Maybe the first half.
Yeah, it depends on when Mahomes comes back, right? Because he got hurt at the end of the year with that ACL, MCL, ACL. Remember, it was both. It's funny though. Not to deviate, Joe, but I'm going to deviate. Isn't it funny how that injury used to be 12 months, and now it's like 6 to 8?
I mean, I think it's more than that. Maybe the baseline is 6 to 8, but look at because Mahomes isn't expected back right away, right? He's not expected to. He could miss some games because it happens so late in the season.
Well, let me look it up real quick.
And you got to think that even like the NFL, like when they say 6 months, that's like with their miracle technology and rehabbing and everything like that, like that back as soon as they possibly can. I don't know if the Chiefs necessarily want to rush Patrick Mahomes back. Go ahead.
They're talking that he might be back by week 1.
See, there's a difference between could be back by week 1 and should be back by week 1. If I was the Chiefs, I would I
Injured
would.
it in week 15. You froze up at the end there. You would what?
Oh, I said if I was the Chiefs, I might consider taking it easy. Like, don't rush him back, dude. Like, you know, you still have
But I
potentially
mean, like,
years with him if you don't ruin it.
but the Packers are talking how Micah Parsons is going to be back to start the year. You know, the Bears have a couple guys who got Trapio. They're talking he might be back within the first couple weeks, if not the beginning of the year. A lot of these guys, especially the MCL, ACL tears now, it's not a full year. They're talking 6 to 8 months, and these guys are back. And I'm just like, has rehab gotten that good?
Yeah. Well, I remember in the '90s, an ACL tear was a career-ending injury. You
Yeah, it
know,
kind of was. I
they
mean, you
didn't
were out of
have the.
yeah.
You don't you remember? It's like the rehab wasn't the same. Like a guy would never be if a guy was able to come back from an ACL, he was never the same.
But that's like in the 90s though too. You know, like when you had back surgery, you were in the hospital for like a month,
Yeah.
right? And they didn't even let you get out of bed for like the first 2 weeks. Now, when my wife had hers a couple years ago when she had the motorcycle accident, within 6 hours of surgery, they had her up and walking.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, things are
Medicine is
performing.
changing all the time, man.
Yeah, like when she had her hip surgery, she was walking that day on the new hip. I mean, that day they had her up and walking. So, and they've definitely gotten better at keeping inflammation down with new ice pack machines and everything they put on you, compression machines, all this other stuff. But man, if Mahomes comes back, but I think Fields though going to Kansas City makes complete sense because I mean he's a quarterback. Look at Fields isn't terrible. I mean he's not. I mean we give him shit because he doesn't have the best numbers in the world, but when you think about his capability, he is not terrible. The dude can move. He's got an arm. He can throw. There are some accuracy concerns in the pocket. I get that. But the dude's got a long ball. Um, that's pretty accurate.
Yeah.
He can extend plays if your offensive line isn't helping. He's never played behind a good offensive line ever in his career. The
Mhm.
best offensive line he had might have been the Steelers, to be honest with you. I mean,
Yeah.
Fields will finally get a Super Bowl ring as being a Chief. I don't
His
think he'll
and
get a ring.
the real knock on Fields is his short game. Like he struggles with those short balls. But I wonder, if Reed can coach him up on that.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. He had Eberflus as a coach with bad OCs. Then he went to Pittsburgh, where they're not really known for developing quarterbacks. Then he went to the Jets, which was just a complete shit show. This is the first competent coaching place he's been.
Yeah. And this is why I said I really call me crazy, but I really think Andy Reid can resurrect his career, dude. Like
Yeah.
could give him potentially a second window at being a starter in the NFL.
Even when he was with the Bears, every year his statistical numbers went up. He showed improvement, right? He just never took that leap.
Hmm.
But maybe with Reed for a year or two, you can take that lead. Reading, some people say look, that's what everyone always says. Oh, quarterback can't read the defense. Okay, they all pretty much read the defense. Um, that's always the knock, though. Oh, I mean, you listen to Packer fans. Oh, Caleb can't read a defense as he burns him for another play. Um, that's always what people will say. Oh, they can't, this person can't read the defense. No, it's not that they can't read the defense. Sometimes it's just their decision making, or they have a different issue in their game. With Fields, it's kind of that short to mid range accuracy. Long
Hmm.
ball, he's accurate as hell. When he's on the move, he's accurate. But in the pocket, his short and mid game, they're having questions about his accuracy. And then what people will say, well, it's not his accuracy; it's that he can't read the defense. I'd say more of it's his accuracy than not being able to read the defense. But that's a smart move for the Chiefs, man. I mean, And you look at, you don't think they're gonna do some wild card shit with him?
Oh yeah,
A wildcat shit?
it's low risk, high reward. Andy Reid gets a weapon, like because Justin Fields, whether you think he's a good quarterback or not, he's a weapon. Like he can be used so many ways in an offense. Like you could send him out as a receiver. He's fast enough to run routes, right? You could use him as a tight end, like a catching tight end. You could use him as a running back. You could split him off and do like split backs, and you could throw it to him out of the backfield. Like you could do trick plays where you can have him throw the ball to your quarterback, like or vice versa. Like there's a lot of things he can run wildcat and just straight up run the ball. There's lots of things you can do with him.
Here we go. The Chiefs are expected to send a 2027 sixth round pick to the Jets for Fields.
That's about right. I mean, it's the Jets are just happy to get it off the books because they're going to look at a new quarterback. And if I'm Justin Fields, I don't care what they gave up for me, dude. Like the fact that I get to go play with Andy Reid, like have Andy Reid coach me up.
Well,
He's got to be a happy man right now.
The Jets quarterback room is Geno Smith, Brady Cook, and Bailey Zappi.
Yeah, they're going with Geno this year, but
Yeah.
good luck.
Yeah, good luck with that.
But dude, for Justin Fields, you just hit the lottery, man. You just hit the lottery. If you pay attention and you can soak up anything of that game, dude, like if you can soak up anything from Andy Reid, it's going to make you better.
And Yinzer, that's just the bad luck of Justin Fields in his career so far because, like, dude, he was 4-2. And then he gets benched. I know a lot of Steeler fans that are mad when Tomlin benched Fields to go with Russ. By the way, Russ doesn't have a contract right now. He's still a free agent. He's probably done. And that's just the bad luck of Fields. Like, Fields should have been the quarterback in Pittsburgh. He could have grown there, right? He could have grown there. But what a great opportunity for him now to go to Andy Reid. I mean, what a move.
Yeah. It's a smart move for Kansas City. It's low risk, high reward, potentially high reward. You didn't spend a lot to get him. Like you have you can coach him up, and at the very least, if Patrick Mahomes isn't ready week 1, you can just put him in there to take the hits. It's like for a 6th round pick next year, like you don't have to throw your quarterback in there to get slaughtered right away, like and there are questions on the Chiefs offensive line, like they've lost a lot of their premier offensive linemen over the last couple of years.
Well, you know who else can be mad about this? Yeah, Yinzer, dude. I know. You guys, I'm sorry, you guys got sucked into the Aaron Rodgers vortex of uncertainty. You now live like most of us in Florida, you live in the cone of uncertainty, right? The Packers were looking at trying to trade for Justin as their backup.
That would have been a good move for them too.
Yeah.
I would have loved to see what LaFleur could do with him. Like, look what they did with Malik Willis. I think the Packers might have even been a better spot. But
I would have loved to see how Packer fans would have all of a sudden said how Justin Fields was a good quarterback after years of all the trash talk.
that would be the added bonus, right? All of a sudden, he's been a bum all these years, but the second he puts on that Packers uniform, it's like, oh man, he's going to turn things around.
Look at Rashawn Gary's a bum because he's gone. I mean, the second they leave, Malik Willis is a bum. That's how Packer fans are.
Oh, they're doing Malik like that, really?
Yeah, I've seen a couple. I mean, to be honest, every fan base has people like that.
I thought they liked Malik.
Yeah, every fan base. Look there were Bears fans who were like that when Roquan left.
Yeah.
I mean, there's always people in the fan base who are like that, but there's a proclivity for it amongst Packer Nation. According to Packer fans, they can fix any player, and the second they're not a Packer, they're trash again. When I was buying helmets, more consistently, like when Roquan, the year he got traded, when he got to camp that year and did the hold in, dudes thought, oh, he's gonna get traded. They started dumping Roquan helmets, so I picked up a flat or a Blaze Mini because I didn't have a Bears Blaze, and I picked it up for pennies on the dollar. And like when guys get traded or like DJ Moore stuff is flying off the shelves right now in Chicago. Like people are selling their DJ Moore helmets, their DJ Moore jerseys, anything signed by DJ Moore, Tremaine Edmonds, or any of the guys that left. People are dropping them at like, dude, you're talking like they paid $600 for a helmet. Now they're dropping it for 200 because the guy's with a different team.
Which is stupid. Like,
It is.
you're better off holding on to it, and then if he turns out to be a Hall of Famer, now it's a $700, $800 helmet, or $1,000 helmet.
I don't know investment wise if I'd go that far. 'Cause I got 3 Roquan Smiths for the Bears. I've got a custom shut authentic. I've got a chrome, and I got the Blaze Mini. So the chrome was his rookie year. It's got a nice inscription. And the other 2 don't have inscriptions, but they're nice helmets. But I don't know.
I'm just saying, it's better than taking. You spent $600, and it's better than taking a $400 loss on it.
Well, no, but I look at it this way: did he, did the player play for your team? Yes. And you have that player on a signed helmet or picture or jersey? Yes. I got a signed Khalil Mack jersey, Bears jersey, hanging in my room right now. I mean, he played for the Bears for 3 years.
And when he becomes a Hall of Famer, that's going to be worth money.
Yeah, it could be worth a little bit more when he gets to the Hall of Fame. But like I look at like, dude, I got a Rex Grossman mini. I've got Tom Zach. I've got Fields on a mini helmet and a jersey. I just don't have the jersey on the wall because I don't have any wall space for it. I mean, they played for your team.
Mhm.
Like when Jacobs left the Raiders, I saw some Raiders fans like on those pages selling Jacobs helmets like crazy. I'm like, I get it. Like, if you're not a Raiders fan, you're not going to go get a Josh Jacobs Raiders helmet now. You're going to get a Packers helmet because you want the team they currently play for if you can. But if you're a Raiders fan, of course you're still going to a true Raiders fan, and you get the opportunity to pick up a Jacobs cheap, you're going to pick it up.
I got a Josh Jacobs mini helmet in my room that I got signed his rookie year at camp. I didn't get rid of it. I keep my autographs, man. I still have a football signed by Rich Gannon, Jerry Rice, and Tim Brown. Keep that too.
Yeah, I for my Raiders collection, I've only got a couple right now. I've got Seabass, Howie Long, and Bo Jackson.
Need to go get you a Max Crosby.
Yeah. Well, I had a why am I brain farting right now? Running back. I can see his face. Played back with Gannon and everyone, Hall of Famer.
Hall of Fame?
Got a really funky. Is he in the Hall of Fame?
Are you talking about Charlie Garner?
No.
Tyrone Wheatley? Zach Crockett?
No, keep going.
Napoleon Kaufman?
No, but that would be a good one to have. I like
that one. Marcus Allen?
Marcus Allen, there we go. Thank you.
Yeah.
Wow, brain fart mark. But I trade my Marcus Allen to get a Brian Urlacher. And the Urlacher had the Hall of Fame inscription, so it made sense. But
yeah, I got a Josh Jacobs mini. Like, dude, I got all kinds, but I only have Raiders for the most part.
I just saw Marcus Allen full-size rep, though, pretty cheap at my local shop. That might be my next purchase. I kind of regret trading the Marcus Allen. Now I have an Urlacher jersey and an Urlacher helmet. I kind of want to get a Marcus Allen back. But dude, how many people do you know have a Seabass?
I don't know anybody personally, but
that's a rare one. Janikowski did not sign much, so I have a Janikowski mini. So that one I am happy. And I've got my Bo Jackson. That was my first Speed Flex. Was my Bo Jackson actually? I only have 2 Speed Flexes: a Bo Jackson and a Ty Law. And it's a Hydro Dip, which is pretty cool looking. But
you know what I wanted to kind of talk about this morning was, what kind of it cracks me up is like you have so many people out there right now that are saying that either Fernando Mendoza is going to be a complete bust. Like I've seen so many Fernando's going to be a bust, like videos and stuff on Facebook. People are like, if the Raiders draft Fernando Mendoza, he's going to be an absolute disaster. This and that, like, and then I've seen on the other side, people are like, Fernando's going to take the Raiders to the Super Bowl, this and that. It's like, dude, can we just calm down? Like, nobody knows how any of these players are really going to turn out. The only one that I would say anybody actually knew, like, was probably Andrew Luck. Like, everybody just kind of had an idea that that dude was going to be good, you know?
I mean, well, people had an idea that no. I mean, look at everyone outside of Chicago, minus Green Bay, knew that Caleb had the potential of being really good. Um, and I think the same could be said for that class of Caleb May. You know that draft class. I think people thought that 3 or 4 of those guys had the potential of being really, really good, and that there would be one of the better quarterback classes in a while. But you're
Yeah,
right.
that's fair.
It's so 50-50 though with quarterbacks in the first round. I mean, that Caleb class has produced 4 quarterbacks that have already won playoff games.
Mhm.
One's already
Yeah,
been to a Super Bowl. I
yeah.
mean, and it's not the guy that people thought it would be, right? I
Mhm.
mean, people thought maybe it'd be Nix or it'd be what's his name in Washington,
Jaden
um,
Daniels.
Jaden Daniels would be one of those guys, but no, it's Drake May who really people thought, well, you know, but 4 quarterbacks from that class have already won playoff games.
Mhm. Yeah, it
I
was
mean,
a
that's
good class.
really good class.
But it's like,
Um,
it just cracks me up how people, like, you know, they base everything off of these college stats, college numbers, and they're like, you know, oh, Fernando's going to be a bust, or Fernando's going to be, you know, a top 5 guy. It's like, who knows, man?
but
According
Steve,
to Google AI, like, I was asking Google AI yesterday, like, the mathematical probabilities of Fernando Mendoza with the Raiders' current roster being like what his success would look like if they started him right away versus if they sat him for at least half a
well,
season.
yeah, but that we know that won't happen though. But I'm sure
Well,
it'd be better.
it could happen, but I don't know if it will, but it could happen because Kubiak has said that they're not looking to rush Mendoza. But like, this is just an interesting little tidbit. According to Google AI, take it for what it's worth. Quarterbacks that are taken in the first round that start right away have a 32% hit rate, and quarterbacks that sit for at least half a season have a 48% hit rate. So even if you sit the guy, you're still
Perhaps.
less than 50%. But I'd rather have that 48% than that 32%.
And Steve, I want to go to Steve's comment about the Heisman Trophy, right? He says that you know not many Heisman Trophy winners made it in the NFL. 2 of them have already. The last 2 quarterbacks that won the Heisman that were drafted have already won playoff games.
Yeah, but that's a new trend. He's
Yeah.
right. And as far as historically speaking, most of the Heisman quarterbacks have done terrible, you know?
I mean, there's only 4 Heisman winners that are in the Hall of Fame. I mean,
Yeah.
that's kind of almost like a kiss of death to be a pro, right? There are only 4.
Yeah,
Um,
don't say that though, because that's
however,
you're
I
just about to
think
take Fernando, dude. Like,
if Jade, but look at the current trend with Caleb and Jaden. Now Jaden had injury issues last year, but if he can stay healthy and Caleb can stay healthy and they keep going the way they're going, I'm not saying you're always wrong. Just listen to the rest of the argument. If you look at those 2 quarterbacks, those are 2 quarterbacks that could make the Hall of Fame if their careers keep going the way they have started. And I mean, that mold can change, I guess, and we're seeing that a little bit. And Steve is 100% correct in the Heisman thing because like only 4 have made the Hall of Fame. A bunch of others have had decent NFL careers. But if you look at a Hall of Fame, you know, guys who are in the Hall of Fame. I think there's only 4 Heisman Trophy winners. They're in the
Charles
Hall.
Woodson's one of them.
Woodson's one of them, not even a quarterback. The last quarterback to get in the Hall that was a Heisman, I don't know who was that. Maybe I don't
Did
know.
Stabler win? Did Stabler win the Heisman? I doubt it.
No, I don't think he did. Did Troy Aikman win it? Well, hold on. Let's just make this easy.
Barry Sanders probably. I think Barry Sanders probably won it, didn't he?
Um, no, I don't think he did.
What? For his record-breaking year at Oklahoma State, he didn't get the Heisman?
Heisman Trophy winners in the NFL. Let's see how many there are. I think there's only like 4, if I remember correctly. I've done this search so many times. It should be. Okay. Oh, here there are 10. Here are the here. Okay. So okay, you're going to be vindicated in a second, too, Joe. O.J. Simpson won the Heisman in 1968. He was inducted in 1985 in the Hall of Fame. Roger Staubach, 19. Okay, that's a running back. Well, let me put it this way: one quarterback that's ever won the Heisman, 2 quarterbacks have won the Heisman are in the Hall of Fame. Roger Staubach, who won the Heisman at Navy in 1963, made the Hall of Fame in 85. And Paul Hornung, who won the Heisman in 56 and was inducted in the Hall of Fame in 86, but he was a running back slash quarterback combo. Okay. Then your other ones are Doak Walker, won the Heisman in 48, running back, went to the Hall in 86. Earl Campbell won 77, inducted in 91. Tony Dorsett, 76 Heisman, 94 Hall. Marcus Allen, 81 Heisman, 2003 Hall. Barry Sanders, there's your vindication, 1988 Heisman, 2004 induction, and Tim Brown.
Yep. It's got a couple of Raiders on that list too. Yeah, dude.
Here we go. Oh, yeah, Charles Woodson. Okay, yeah, he's in, isn't he? Yeah, he's
Yeah.
in. So, okay, so yeah, see, Grok missed that one, but it mentioned at the end. So 11 have made it both. But I think that's something that could change. Like you look at the guys who've come out recently. You know, like you're telling me if Caleb doesn't continue the career he's starting with right now, you know, especially after last year, if he keeps on the trajectory, he could have a Hall of Fame career. Jaden Daniels could have a Hall of Fame career. Mendoza could have a Hall of Fame career. We'll see how he does. It's just interesting. Yeah, Vince Young, Tim Tebow, Johnny Manziel, Matt Leinart. Remember, he was a Heisman. Now he got to a Super Bowl, but only because he split time with Kurt Warner.
Yeah.
There was a string of guys who just didn't do well in the NFL after they won the Heisman. But I think that maybe we're seeing that kind of shift the other way finally.
Yeah. But my point was just that we don't really know. Like we haven't, with Andrew Luck, I guess people kind of knew. Like everybody, I didn't hear not one person. I'm sure there were some people, but I didn't hear not one person say Andrew Luck's going to be a bust. Like everybody kind of knew he was going to be good. But then it's like, look how high people were on Trevor Lawrence. Like, oh, he's going to be the best quarterback since Andrew Luck. Like to come, the best prospect since Andrew Luck. And it hasn't really been that. Like, he's not bad. Like I'm not shitting on T-Law. I'm just saying, like, he hasn't lived up to his pre-draft hype. You don't really know, man. So I just wish people would just take a break with the whole Fernando's going to be a Super Bowl MVP kind of quarterback, or he's going to be an absolute bust. It's like there's also a third way where he just ends up being like a middle of the pack kind of guy. I mean,
yeah, I mean, I
think his traits are exactly what you want for somebody to be successful. He has the tools, like the mental processing, the decision making, and he has mental toughness. Like he has that grit. Like I think that last run in the championship game, he's not afraid to put it all on the line for his team. So those are things that definitely bode well for him. But he's not the most athletic guy in the world, right? He's no Lamar Jackson or even Kyler Murray as far as athleticism, right? So it's like
I think you're seeing a little bit of a shift in the Heisman though, in the guys having better careers in the NFL. Um,
Steve
White
McNair,
McNair, yeah,
Aaron
McNair.
McNair.
Did he win the Heisman?
I don't know.
Ooh,
I don't.
I don't.
I don't consider Baker a bust at all. I think Cleveland didn't know what they had, and
Yeah,
they decided to go trade for Deshaun Watson, and I think they made him. You see where Cleveland's been ever since, and it did some damage to Baker's confidence, I think, in for a while. But once he got to Tampa and got confident again, but now there's some interesting rumors that now that Mike Evans has left, the Bucks are kind of on a decline as far as they're losing a lot of their star players, and there's rumors that Baker may want out. And I heard one specific rumor that Baker may want to actually go to the Rams and be Stafford's replacement. I'm all for that. I think that would be awesome.
I think that would be good for Baker, but I've always liked Baker. I thought Cleveland would be a playoff team. They would have been a perennial playoff team if he stayed there. I think when he left and they did the Deshaun Watson, that set that organization back a decade. It just ruined everything. It
Mhm.
ruined everything financially, confidence level wise. Everything in that building went south. Everything. Um, it was like watching a ship get torpedoed and slowly sink to the bottom of the sea. And it was not even that, not even torpedoed, because it was a self-inflicted wound. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? I mean,
It's like
it
guys were
was
smoking in the magazine, like some in the magazine room, where they keep all the powder and shit. Like guys are smoking cigars in there, and the ship explodes. That's what it's like. It's like,
yeah, that was like 6 years ago, maybe longer, maybe 6.
yeah,
Well,
and
Baker's been there
they
what,
still got
3 yeah,
Watson on the freaking roster.
yeah, 6 years ago. And Baker had taken that team from obscurity to a playoff team. They made it to the playoffs. They were still missing a piece or two. Instead of getting that piece or two, they decided it was Baker that needed to go. And they brought in Massage Table Boy. And boy, that killed him financially. And then
Not
he
just
couldn't play
financially.
because of suspensions and everything else. Um,
It wasn't just the
Terrible.
financial side of it though, Ken. Like the financial side was bad, right? The 250 million guaranteed contract was bad. But if Deshaun Watson was if he played anywhere near that contract, we wouldn't be complaining about it, right? And neither would
No,
Cleveland. It's the fact that he got the guaranteed contract, came back, it was an absolute shell of himself.
I was just about to say, like, for the $250 million that they signed him for, he's played what, like, one season? The dude made the easiest contract in NFL history. Seriously. I mean, but that contract set them back, and they're not going to be another good team still for another 3 or 4 years, probably. 'Cause they still haven't recovered because they're still carrying Deshaun Watson on the book. Um,
Isn't
Jamarcus
this the
Russell,
last year though? Like they're finally over his contract this year, I think.
I'll double check it. We don't bring that name up, Steve.
You know what? Look, I'll bring it up or I'll talk about it. Jamarcus Russell, if he had even a tenth of the work ethic of a regular NFL quarterback, would have been something special. That dude had absolute like physical traits that like and see in hindsight, people always love to shit on that pick in hindsight. But if you go back and watch the draft coverage from the year that the Raiders drafted Jamarcus Russell, he was the consensus number 1 overall pick. If the Raiders didn't have the number 1 pick, somebody else was going to take him number 1 because they were fascinated, enthralled by his physical tools. The guy could throw 80 yards off his freaking knees, dude. Like he just, and I'm gonna go ahead and like I'm gonna give Jamarcus a little bit of I wouldn't say credit, but like I'm gonna a little bit of mitigating factors, right? Like Jamarcus, he had an uncle that was very close to him that was like a father figure to him for all of his younger life, really is the one who got him into football and everything. And his uncle died right like shortly after he got drafted, and it set and he was never really the same after that. So like, you know, I think it's important if we can look at Jamarcus in an honest light, right? Like he was probably the biggest bust in the history of the NFL, but I kind of feel bad for the dude when it comes down to it. Like, you know, he had a lot of pressure on him, and the one person that had always been like the stable source or the stable rock in his life, like happened to die right as he gets all this money and all this fame. And, you know, it's like, how many of us would have done better, man?
You ready? Deshaun Watson contract, 5-year, $230 million fully guaranteed deal. 2026, he's going to have a base salary of $1.3 million, a prorated signing bonus of 43.6. His cap number is 44.9. They can't cut him. His dead cap would be 131. They'd go back 86 million. Next year, which is a void year. This is what I don't get about void years. He's still got money going all the way through 2030. The signing bonus.
Because they restructured him, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
So in 2027, he gets a $34 million signing bonus.
Oh.
2028, 25.6. 2029, 16.9. In 2030, 8.9. And here's the thing: if they can't cut him per se, because this part I don't get it. For 2027, if he's cut pre-June 1st, their cap goes back 50 million. They take 86 million in debt.
Oh my
If they do
God.
it post June 1st for 27, they save 1.3 million. They save 25 million for 28, but for 29 and 30, they lose cap money. The full dead cap makes them negative. It's just a really weird. I don't understand the how that flows, but he's got money coming through 2030 because of the restructure. Yeah. End of the day, he's getting the full $230 million.
Yeah.
So,
Well, not just that, but he's going to be on the roster for at least the next year, maybe two.
Running cash at the end of this year, at the end of 2025 or end of 2026, supposedly he hits the 230. It will have all been earned. It will be fully earned, is what it will be. Okay, but yeah, they're still going to have cash due.
Like that's what I'm saying. Like he's going to be on the roster for at least the next year, maybe two, before you can actually afford to cut him. That's, dude.
Is that better than the Bobby Bow contract?
I mean, no, because Bobby Bow got money for like 25, 30 years off of that. But I mean, even though it was a much smaller amount, like, you know, he was
$1 million every year.
Every year, man. Like that's
like what, 2035 or something like that.
Like clockwork, dude. That's a beautiful contract. Like, but dude, there's no way.
So with the
you know what? There is a way. They could, like, but see, this is the thing: is Cleveland is too stupid to actually do that. Like, if they were to just rip the Band-Aid off at the end of this year.
This year, yeah, for 2026, post June 1st, if you cut them, right, you take 44 points. You basically take his whole cap numbers dead, and you save zero. Next year, if you're post June 1st on the void years, this is where I don't get it. He's not under contract for a void year, but he's under contract, which is weird because he can be signed as a free agent. But there's a dead cap and a cap savings to him not being on your roster, which is really weird all the way through 2030. So Deshaun Watson, like I said, is just a mess of a deal because that contract should be done 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. Should have been the final year, but because of restructuring and moving money around to get to the full 230 million, it now goes out to 2030. He's carried on your roster as at least dead cap. So you're looking at dead cap for 27 and beyond of 34, 25, 17, and 9 mil roughly. And there's cap savings in 27 and 28, but in 29 and 30, you go negative cap. It just I don't get the way they do these contracts sometimes. And yeah, they are dumb. Uh, the whole Deshaun Watson thing will go down in the history of being one of the dumbest trade and signs in NFL history. But taking it back to Baker Mayfield, though, could you imagine what Cleveland could have been with Baker and $230 million still in its disposal?
They would have been more times than they have been. But if I'm Cleveland, like I would just get off now, dude. Just take all the dead cap that you can this year. Like, even if you can't get it all off your books this year, at least as much as you can, and then like you won't be quite as hamstrung going forward. But you got to rip the Band-Aid off if you want to start actually. Like you're gonna have to suck, right? Like it's gonna kill your cap, but
So since
just do it.
2022, he's played 19 games. 6 and 22, 6 and 23, 7 and 24. It. $230 million contract has netted them 19 touchdowns, 12 interceptions, a completion percentage of 58.2, 61.4, and 63.4. I mean,
Figure
terrible.
out the math on that. 19 touchdowns times $230 million or divided into 30.
Between the 3 seasons he's played, he has roughly almost 3,400 yards of passing over the life of this contract so far. 34. Caleb Williams threw more in his rookie year than
Yeah.
Deshaun Watson has thrown his entire time in
But
Cleveland.
if you look at just touchdowns alone, he got paid essentially $15 million a touchdown.
Well, he's got 3 rushing touchdowns too. So add that.
Okay, well, then let's call it 12 or something.
Yeah.
Still.
I mean, oh my God. Just
Oh,
yeah. I mean, dude, look at touchdown interception ratio in 22, 7-5. In 23, 7-4. In 24, 5. Last time we saw game action, 5-3. My God. His valuation right now, 0. He's worth nothing in the NFL.
it's literally 0.
Yeah.
Like not even a vet man. That's hilarious. Damn.
It's going to go down in history as the worst contract in NFL history.
Yeah, it's got to. But this
After
is why
this season, they can cut him and effectively be a little bit free of it.
yeah, they need to cut him after this season and just take the cap hit and exactly end the suck quicker, man.
I mean, if you cut him this year, you have 46 million dead cap. But it doesn't affect your cap one way or the other in terms of like cap relief. You get none. But man,
Wait,
just
why would the NCAA take away the national title?
for me, yeah, I don't know. I don't follow college enough to know. But someone somewhere is probably butthurt about something they perceived as being wrong there. You ever notice that now? Look, this is true in sports and even in politics. The team that loses always finds a way or reason why they lost was they were done wrong, and therefore the winner should be invalidated.
Yeah, but I'm just curious, like how I haven't heard anything about that story.
I mean, neither. That's the first I've really heard of it. But I mean, it just fits with the way society is. I'm surprised people aren't saying that the Seahawks should have the Super Bowl stripped because of something. I mean, that just seems the way to go. If you lose, oh no, you didn't lose. The other team cheated. The other side cheated. I mean, it's true in politics. Dude, you realize that we have not had in presidential politics a loser conceded an election since 1996. Al Gore never conceded to Bush. Oh wait, no, that's not true. I think
Hillary
Dole.
conceded to Trump.
No, she didn't. She never did.
Well, she called him that night and
No,
conceded.
she didn't. She told people they didn't. They said go home. Remember, they go home, and then the next day we'll meet back, and they never did. Kamala didn't. Trump didn't concede. I think maybe Bob Dole might have conceded to Obama. And Kerry didn't concede to Bush. Yeah, I mean, we just don't anymore.
Trump. When I remember his speech, like he said that she called him and basically congratulated him. So I mean, it might not be
She
conceding in
called
this.
him, but publicly she never conceded.
Yeah, maybe
That's
not
what I'm
publicly.
saying. And
She
that's
called
what I'm
him
saying.
and
Like
admitted
in
it.
sports, the same way you lose a national championship. Oh, but Boise State should have won it because this, that, or there's always now some reason why some other team should have won it. I don't even pay those stories any mind anymore. Oh, the Astros should be stripped of the World Series title. Whatever. I mean, whatever. I'm just so sick of hearing that stuff. Oh, there was even we saw and we see every year in NFL games. Oh, well, your team only won because the ref missed this call. Okay, forget the 10 other calls you missed that were in your favor. Like officiating's part of the game. Oh, well, no, there was a recruitment violation from some guy who never saw the field. Okay, who cares? I mean, there's always a reason why I don't even pay attention to this shit.
Hey, but I'm curious though, Steve. What is the story with the Indiana national title? Like, what are they saying that they did? I haven't heard anything about it. The reason I ask is because Fernando's like looking at going number one. This could actually affect his draft stock if it involves him.
Yeah, let me try grokking it. See what Grok comes up with. The main controversy trying an Indiana national title in recent times centers on the Indiana Hoosier football team. National champion. Okay. Okay, so this was her first ever national title in football. Whatever. The primary controversy stems from an eligibility dispute involving safety Lewis Moore, a 24-year-old transfer who previously played at Ole Miss and junior college. Moore sued the NCAA last summer after being ruled ineligible due to exhausted eligibility. A federal court granted him a temporary injunction, allowing him to play the entire 2025 season for Indiana, including the championship run. After their title win, Moore dismissed his lawsuit, because he was done. However, the NCAA pushed back in ongoing related litigation, threatening to invoke the rule of restitution if it prevails. They could theoretically include vacating individual performance stats, abrogating team victories, and other penalties. Well, this is just being petty Andy bullshit. So, yeah. That's what it all is.
But can you imagine though, if the NCAA actually does this, if they actually strip in that title over a safety that was according to the courts was given an injunction, right? But how that affects the rest of the team. Like, look, for all that work that Fernando Mendoza did to win that title, him and all those guys, and all of a sudden, like, no, you're not the champs anymore. Like, oh.
I mean, at the point where he played because a federal judge said he could, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, or Reggie Bush had to give up his Heisman. I think they gave him his Heisman back, didn't they? Finally, I never. What? Why do you have to vacate the Heisman? Do you remember why that was?
I think he was taking money from boosters or something like that.
Yeah, and they gave it back. I mean, stupid shit like that. Like, what did that have to do with his on-field play? Nothing. okay, then who cares? I mean, the NCAA. That's why I don't follow college, and there's so penny ante little ticky tacky bullshit stuff with them all the time. I don't even deal with the NCAA. Not that the NFL is much better because it can be just as bad, but yeah,
We've never taken a Super Bowl away from anybody.
yeah, no doubt. I mean, the level of crime. Dude, I think Mendoza is going to be interesting for you with you guys with the other moves you've made. I think I'm looking forward to watching the Raiders play this year.
Yeah, there's still some. I'm very excited about the moves that we made in free agency. Of course, if we draft Fernando, like it's going to be all about getting him comfortable, and I'm with that. But there's still a few moves that I would like to see them make, like not necessarily in free agency, but in the draft. There's a couple holes that I think are still glaring, namely at right tackle, and I think we need another receiver. We need a true X receiver. But the thing is, you're not going to find
Well, you're not going to
both
do it
of
all
those
in one year.
guys. Yeah, you're not going to find both of those guys unless you really luck out in the second and third round. You're not going to find both of those guys.
I mean, look, you could get a Jaden Daniels kind of year. It could happen. I'm not saying it couldn't happen. Jaden Daniels rookie year. I mean, that team was cobbled together with a bunch of old salty vets in a rebuild mode, and they went to the NFC Championship game. I mean, I mean, it's possible. Wait, what's Steve saying here? Hold on. Like all Ken's Blackhawk stuff he has for the mean things he says about me should all be. Oh, you're not getting any of my signed Blackhawk stuff, Steve. Sorry. Oh, geez, that's good
Yeah,
though. But I mean, you could. I mean, they put together a good enough team where you could make an argument that what I'm saying
you can
that
make the argument, but I honestly I don't know if I mean this might sound crazy, but I don't know if I would want that. I don't know if I would want to have that much success right away because then it's like the expectations are even higher.
well,
And
dude, the expectations in Chicago this year are gonna be out the wazoo.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, but at the same time, Caleb's third year, and he's gotten better every year. So far, so it's like the expectations are reasonable. Whereas, like, if the Raiders just absolutely caught lightning in a bottle and made it to the AFC title game, you still have the holes on your roster. It's like you might outperform the holes, but the next year when you go
Well,
6-10 or 7 and
that was like
like
the Bears this year. Like, they got to the playoffs, they won the division, which I said for every game last year they could be a 7-10 win team and a dark horse to make the playoffs. All the Packer fans laughed, said I was delusional, and that was a stupid. I didn't know anything, and we ended up winning the division and beat the 10 games, right? But the holes were the holes. You saw it in the playoffs. Defensively, the holes were the holes. Um, and you know, I hope they addressed it. Um, but that's what happens. I mean, when the Redskins made their run, their whole they just really sucker punched the Lions. Really, I mean, the Lions did not look like the Lions looked that entire season in that game. But then when they got to Philly, Philly exposed all the holes in the
yep.
playoffs. So I don't know. I mean, but Steve, you know what? Damn it, Steve, you're right. With Fields and KC, the Raiders are going to be in the basement.
Oh God. Honestly, like I'm not expecting the Raiders to win anything this year. Like I'm not expecting them to make the playoffs. Like if the Raiders manage to, for me, lightning in a bottle would be if they got to 9 wins.
Yeah,
Like if they got a winning record out of this year with the holes on that roster, it would be like that would be a really good sign going forward. Like,
I
damn,
think
dude, like
5 to 6 wins is success, right? 5 to 6 wins is success. If you get 6 wins, you double your win total. That's success. And you as long and you get some positive growth out of Mendoza, and then a year, and then you get another top 10 pick to fill another hole, big hole, and that means your second round picks can be a little better, and so on and so forth. And then the following year, you're looking for a 7 to 9, 7 to 10 win team, and that's how the progression should go. But now you bring Max Crosby back in. That defense is a little bit better now with Max and without Max. Um,
See, that's the
they,
thing is to me, 6 wins, like I wouldn't be mad at it because you still doubled your win total from last year. But looking at it more like in depth, I would not really be happy with that. Like I think that 7 or 8 wins would be I think is more real like or I don't how should I say this? I don't think you're crazy for thinking 7 or 8 wins is more realistic, considering how bad things were last year. Like, I don't think that the Raiders out of a team as their record showed last year. Like,
so
I is what I'm saying. Like they got better, and I also think they just really underachieved last year. Like they were bad on the offensive line, which their offensive line is a lot better than what their starting offensive line is better than what they had out there last year. And Genty was a rookie. Bowers was hurt for half the season.
hey,
There
we
was
got
some
about we
there
got
was some
about a minute.
factors.
I agree with you. We got about a minute. I want to say this really quick. Um, More on the field story. His preference was KC. This is the second time where he's been traded to a preference. When the Bears traded him, his preference was to go to Pittsburgh, and Pittsburgh worked. So kudos to Justin Fields for being able to control his own destiny a little bit. We're out of time. JB's up next. Joe and I will be back again tomorrow. I remember that Super Bowl too, by the way, Steve. Uh, but I think that was post Lyle Alzado. But anyways, we'll get that tomorrow. You guys have a great morning. For Joe and myself, thank you all for being here. We'll see you tomorrow. JB's next.